It is the 23rd of March, 1889. 40 devout followers have gathered around the man who has been commissioned by Allah to be the promised Messiah and Mahdi of the time. They have covered great distances and waited many years to be part of this historic moment. Individually, they put their hands forward to grasp his hand. The Bai'at starts, and they all repeat after him.
Ashhadu Allah ilaha illallah wahdahu la sharika lahu wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu.
More than 100 years later, this community that started with only 40 humble servants of God has spread to all corners of the earth. And now, it is not just 40, but millions of hands that are stretched out to accept the pledge of allegiance to the promised Messiah and his Khalifa of the time.
ये बैत नहीं है।
Bai'at is an Arabic word and literally means to sell. The promised Messiah ﷺ states, Bai'at truly means to sell oneself. Its blessing and impact are based on that condition. Just as a seed is sown into the ground, its original condition is that the hand of the farmer has sown it, but it is not known what will happen to it. If the seed is of a good quality and possesses the capacity to grow, then with the grace of Allah the Almighty, and as a consequence of the work done by the farmer, it grows until one grain turns into 1,000 grains. Similarly, the person taking Bai'at has to first adopt lowliness and humility, and has to distance himself from his ego and selfishness. Then that person becomes fit for growth. But he who continues to hold on to his ego, along with taking the Bai'at, will never receive any grace. He further states, to take Bai'at means handing over your life to Almighty Allah. It means, today we have sold our life to Almighty Allah. The system of Bai'at has been established solely to gather together a group of the righteous people in a Jamaat, so that a weighty group of the righteous people should make a holy impact on the world. The unity of these righteous people should be a source of blessings, grandeur, and positive results for Islam. The blessings of being united on one creed may enable them to perform noble and righteous services for the sake of Islam. They should become a refuge for the poor and fathers for the orphans. In the service of Islam, they should be willing to sacrifice themselves like one overpowered with love. In March 1903, on the day of Eid, some companions were sitting together and the promised Messiah ﷺ said, "Listen, all of you who have taken Bai'at today, and those who have taken Bai'at before. I would like to say a few words by way of advice. Listen to them carefully. Bai'at that you have taken today is Bai'at of repentance. Repentance is of two types. One from the previous sins, that is, to reform oneself from the mistakes committed before and to make recompense as far as possible to set right the damage done by them. The second is to safeguard oneself from sins thereafter and to save oneself from the fire."
आज जो वाक़या आप देखने वाले हैं, मैंने पहले भी कहा था कि जब से ज़मीन और आसमान बने हैं, कभी किसी आँख ने ये बात नहीं देखी कि बैअत वक्त दुनिया के तमाम बड़े आदमी से बकसरत ममालिक और कौमें मुख्तलिफ ज़ुबानों में एक शख्स के हाथ पर बैत कर रहे हों और वो शख्स हज़रत अक़दस मोहम्मद मुस्तफ़ा सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वसल्लम के एक गुलाम का अदना गुलाम हो। ये वो कैफियत बात है जो तारीख़ आलम में पहली दफ़ा नुमा हो रही है और आइंदा हमेशा ये सिलसिला जारी रहेगा। आप लोग खुशनसीब हैं जो इस आलमी बैत में शमूलियत के लिए यहाँ मौजूद हैं, और वो भी खुशनसीब हैं जो मुख्तलिफ मुल्कों में टेलीविज़न के ज़रिए, रेडियो के ज़रिए इसे देख के सुन रहे हैं, और साथ वो शमूलियत की सादत पा रहे हैं। अशहदु अल्लाह इलाहा इल्लल्लाह।
The Bai'at is performed in the following manner. Hazur stretches out his right hand. Those people who have been given the chance to sit immediately close to him put their hands on his sacred hand, while others put their hands on the shoulders of these persons to make a continuous link with Huzur. Everyone puts his hand on the back of the person in front of them. Thereby the entire gathering is connected with each other, leading up to Huzur. This is not merely a physical connection, but also symbolizes the spiritual bond every Ahmadi has with the Khalifa of the time. Huzur recites a portion of the words of Bai'at in English. He then pauses so the portion is translated into various languages. When the whole text of the Bai'at is completed, Huzur recites the Astaghfar.
Astaghfirullah Rabbi min kulli dhanbin wa atubu ilayh. Astaghfirullah Rabbi min kulli dhanbin wa atubu ilayh. Astaghfirullah Rabbi min kulli dhanbin wa atubu ilayh.
देखो खुदा ने एक.
As Huzur prostrates in gratification, every Ahmadi, wherever he or she may be, follows his beloved Imam and thanks Allah for his immense blessings. Due to the large number of people that are now attending the Jalsa Salana by the grace of Allah, we see that sometimes this chain of people reaches up to the gates and into the parking lot. During these few minutes, everything in the entire Jalsa grounds and in front of the TV screens around the world stops immediately as soon as Huzur enters the Jalsagah. The Bai'at starts and everyone repeats after him.
देखो खुदा ने एक जहां को झुका दिया, गुमनाम पाके शोहराए आलम बना दिया.
Number 1. That till the last day of his or her life, he or she shall abstain from shirk.
सब कुछ दिखा दिया, जो कुछ मेरी मुराद थी, सब कुछ दिखा दिया.
Number 2. That he or she shall keep away from falsehood, cruelty, adultery, dishonesty, disorder, rebellion, and every kind of evil.
दिया मैं एक गरीब था, मुझे बेइंतिहा दिया.
Number 3. That he or she shall offer prayers 5 times daily.
बरा हुआ कुछ ऐसा फज़ले हज़रत रब्बुल बरा हुआ.
Number 4. That he or she shall not inflict injury on any of Allah's creatures.
सब दुश्मनों के देख के औसा हुए खता.
Number 5. that he or she would bear every hardship for the sake of Allah.
बस है खुदा का यही निशान, उनके लिए तो बस है खुदा का यही निशान.
Number 6. That he or she shall not follow vulgar customs and guard against evil inclinations.
मुझ पर है हर ज़मान, ऐ सोने वालों जागो के वक्त बहार है.
Number 7. That he or she shall discard pride and haughtiness and live in humility and meekness.
बहार है, अब देखो आके दर पे हमारे वो यार है.
Number 8. That he or she shall hold his or her faith, dignity, and the welfare of Islam dearer than his or her own life, wealth, and children.
जितने दरख्त जिंदा थे वो सब हुए हरे.
Number 9. That he or she shall have sympathy for all of God's creatures and devote his or her talents to their welfare.
लद गए फल इस कदर पड़ा के वो मेवों से लद गए.
Number 10. That he or she shall establish brotherhood with me, that is, Ahmad, obeying me in all good things, and firmly adhere to these rules until the last breath of his or her life.
जो दौर था खिज़ां का वो बदला बहार से. चलने लगी नसीम इनायत यार से. चलने लगी नसीम इनायत यार से.